So the question we're covering today is, what's the difference between an under-counter refrigerator, a beverage center, and a wine captain? There's some similarities between a couple and some vast differences with the others. So here's a really good example sitting side by side here. We've got the Sub-Zero Designer Beverage Center and Designer Dual Zone Wine. When I say zone, that's an important point to bring up. Beverage centers, for the most part, are going to be single zone. All under-counter refrigerators are going to be single zone, but you can get dual zone beverage centers as well. The key indicator of a beverage center versus an under-counter refrigerator is going to be some sort of wine shelving or wine racking inside. Although you might see some descriptions on websites calling something a beverage center when it doesn't hold any wine at all. Conversely, when you're looking at a wine captain, it is all wine racks. So whether it's going to be made of wood, metal, or something different whenever it comes to the shelving itself on the interior or on the front face of that shelving, when you see the tubes in between, that's guiding you to putting your wine bottles in, alternating every other. Typically, you're going to fit anywhere from 5 to 7 bottles per rack. In a 24-inch wine captain, typically it's going to be somewhere between 40 and 50 bottles. A 15-inch wine captain, somewhere between like 18 and 24 bottles. It really all depends on the brand of the wine. When you go down to 15, almost everything in the industry is going to be a single zone. So that's an important thing to remember. If you're trying to squeeze a wine center in there, you're probably going to be regulated down to one temperature zone. Why that's important is because champagnes, whites, and reds all require different temperature ranges. And even within each subsection, you have different temperature ranges. So if you're a wine aficionado, you already know this, but anybody who really wants to maintain their wine at the correct temperatures is going to want a dual zone unit at the very least. When you get into some of the bigger built-in wine preserves, you could even see triple zone, depending on the brand. A lot of these racks, as you move up in the price points for a wine captain, you can actually see different anti-vibration technologies, different types of glass, whether it's going to be blown with argon or not, being UV resistant. So all the things that's going to make the environment for the wine better. That's what you're going to see as you move up through the price tiers. As well as whenever you start seeing the racking made out of wood, a lot of that is going to be anti-vibration woods that they're going to use in those wine preserves. Whereas in a beverage center, typically you're going to see some plastic molded shelving and things of that nature. A vast majority of beverage center is single zone, like I said, but there are going to be some dual zone units out there. Just keep in mind that's really going to regulate you down to shorter cans and bottles when it comes to the beverage side, and really at the absolute most is going to hold like 14 bottles of wine or so. If you're looking to go big with your wine preserve or with your beverage center, there are going to be built-in options. Most of your high-end luxury brands are going to offer wine columns. Most brands are going to offer 18 and 24-inch wide. Some are going to offer 30-inch wide. Don't let this size fool you. This 18-inch wine reserve can only hold about 68 bottles of wine. So conversely, versus a 24-inch undercounter, it might hold 20 to 25 bottles more. But the big difference here is going to be design, being able to do full height doors, panel ready, integrate, have it for a lot longer, being a built-in appliance, 15, 20, 25 years in some cases, depending on brand. When you go into the 24 wide and even the 30 wide, in some brands, as I mentioned earlier, you can get into it like a triple zone unit. So if you're a champagne, white, and red household, finding a triple zone column really could be the right fit for you. If you're looking for a built-in beverage center, that is something that is still newer to the industry. There are a couple of brands that offer a couple of different options. One of the best options out there that's versatile is here we have a Sub-Zero Designer 30-inch column. So on the top here, we have about a 60 bottle wine reserve that's a dual zone, so 2 temperature zones between the wine racks there in its own independent area. And then this is modular because it's built on top of their 30-inch refrigerator drawers too. So like with an under-counter beverage center, you're looking to get an area that is just fridge for beer, soda, water, juice boxes, whatever the case may be. And then you're looking for these anti-vibration wine racks with the temperature and humidity control to maintain your wines. So this built-in Sub-Zero Designer is going to be the perfect fit for a tall, built-in beverage center.